Hello, everyone. Welcome again to another Lazy Show where we teach you AutoCAD in a way that is more productive so you can stop wasting your time. As always, we show up here on YouTube each Sunday at 10 a.m., and that is um, the time in the United States in Pennsylvania. All right, so we're gonna start soon today's presentation. As always, we're gonna learn something awesome today. We're gonna go over the mistakes that you are probably doing and some useful tips on how you can avoid these mistakes, right? So let me see over here. Let me start getting ready. Okay, let me. So let me share my screen. Okay. All right. So let's start with the mistake number one. So let me go over here. All right. So the mistake number. Let's start from the mistake number one, of course. So copying or moving objects mistake. So over here, I have a proposed floor plan that I would like to finish, of course, and I have this reference plan over here that I'm gonna use to copy and move in some items so I don't have to start from scratch. For example, to go ahead and start adding some tags to these restrooms, I'm gonna go and copy some of this information from a plan that I already did before. And of course, I'm gonna move these objects right using the move command. Gonna move it from this point and go ahead and place it on my new floor plan right here, like so. Um, sorry. So let me undo this. I made a small mistake here. All right, so let's start again. So I'm gonna move again these items, and the way I'm gonna do it is using the move command. And of course, I'm gonna move it exactly from this corner where the sink is, so that way I know I need to place it where this sink is, right? So my tags will match. So I'm gonna click like so, and then I'm gonna rotate it using the rotate command, and I'm gonna say P for previews and press enter to accept that, so that way I can rotate my tags from this same point and go ahead and rotate them like so. So of course here now I can arrange them a little bit like so and move them, and of course I can I might think that I can rotate all of these tags using the T orient command. And of course, I'm gonna select all of my tags, press enter, pick 2 points, and rotate my text. But no, the mistake here is that although you can use the T orient to rotate some of your text and your attributes, as you are seeing over here with the door tag, these won't work with multi-leaders. As you are seeing it right here, all of these multi-leaders have the text showing wrong. And again, this is a big mistake that many folks do when moving or copying objects, right? So let's see how we can avoid this mistake again. Um, so in order to do that, what I'm gonna do is undo everything with Control Z a couple of times. So Control Z, and here we go. We are back to where we started. And before we give you a solution for this mistake, let me know in the chat if you ever have you ever faced this mistake. Um, so let's see. Let's see. We have comments on the chat. We have 5 people connected live. Again, we're going today over 5 mistakes that you are probably doing when working in AutoCAD, and we're gonna give you some tips and some solutions so you can start being more efficient, right, with your workflow in AutoCAD. So let me go back, and so we just explained the mistake here again: copying or moving objects mistake, uh, where you try to rotate your tags and then you realize that they are in the run, they are showing backwards or something, right? And again, T-orient won't work with multi-leaders, so that means you'll have to adjust it one by one, right? Okay, so the solution for this mistake would be instead of um, instead of moving or copying your objects, so what I'm gonna do is, so instead of rotating your tags, the solution is to move your objects, right? So I'm gonna move it from this point, and of course I need it over here on this restroom, so I'm gonna move it and place it exactly like that. And then instead of rotating, I'm gonna use the mirror command. So when I use the mirror command and use P for previous, of course, to select my items, I can simply go ahead and use a midpoint like this wall and go down and click on it and say yes to accept that, so I don't have 2 copies of my objects. And boom, you can see that all of my items are showing correctly, so this way I can quickly move my items like so, and of course move some of these tags also. But you can see that all of these are looking right now for the text, right? So that's what we want. We don't want again to manually start doing this, uh, rotating our our tags, right? We want to do this in a way that is more efficient. So again, don't rotate when you copy or move objects. Simply use the mirror command and you will have your tags ready to go. All right, so that's the mistake number 1. Hopefully are you find this useful. Again, I was making also this mistake when I started working in the profession, right? I used to rotate items and then realize I had to manually fix them one by one, and we don't want that. So from now on, use the mirror command again to do this. All right, so let's keep moving with the mistake number 2. So the mistake number 2 is a selection mistake. So over here, let's see. So I'm gonna check my dimensions over here, and I see something wrong here. These overall dimensions are going to this door right here. They're supposed to go over here in this corner, right? So I'm gonna fix that using the stretch command, so that way I don't do it one by one, right? So I'm gonna use the stretch command, and I'm gonna select these 2 dimensions again. This is the point that is dimensioning, so I'm gonna click that point and select that, and then I'm gonna hit shift. I'm gonna hold shift on my keyboard to deselect my xref. I'm gonna press enter, gonna click my dimension point right there, and I'm gonna uh, place it exactly on that corner like so. All right? Wait, I just made one mistake right here. Do you see the mistake that I made? Uh, let's see. Let's see if you catched the mistake that I just made. Let's see. We have a couple of comments on the chat. Rich says, "Hey, good evening. Hi, Rich. Hope you're doing great, Rich. Thank you for being here. We are going today over 5 mistakes that we do in AutoCAD, right? And we're gonna give you some tips so you can work efficiently, right? So let's see. Anatli is on the chat. Anatli, I think you're new to the live streams. Anatli, if that's the case, welcome aboard. We are always here each Sunday at 10 a.m. So yeah, welcome aboard, Anatli. Says before mirroring the text, make sure mirror text variable is set to 0. Here we go. And Anali, that's a very important variable to have on. And let's see, let's try to quickly explain what Anna Lee is talking about. So I'm gonna go to over here on my screen. So Anna Lee is referring to the first mistake that people or we do in AutoCAD, right? Which was when we copy or move multi-leaders or attribute blocks and so on. We want to make sure that our system variable mirror text, which is right here, have the correct values, right? Because look what happened if I use the mirror text. And of course, the correct value is 0, right? But if this were 1, like so, what's going to happen is when I mirror my tags using the mirror command, right? Let's do it right here. And I'm going to say erase object, yes. You can see over here that my block attribute is facing the other direction, and we don't want that, right? So let me undo that with Control Z, and look what happened now. Even my multi-letters are showing wrong now. So that's again the result of using the mirror text system variable. So what I'm gonna do is undo a couple of times, right? And let's see over here and regenerate. All right, so now let's try the mirror text system variable again, as our friend Anna Lee is referring to. So that's supposed to be 0, and if we're not sure about the value that we're supposed to use, we can type the F1 key or hold or use the F1 key on our keyboard, and AutoCAD will give us a nice explanation about the mirror text system variable. Again, 0 will retain the text direction and 1 will mirror the text. All right, so we want that value to be 0 again. So 0, press enter. And now what happened is that when we mirror our attributes or text or information or whatever, using the mirror command, you can see that they are facing the right direction. Great, uh, great question or comment from our friend Anali. That's why we do this live, right? So we all can learn from each other. Rich says, have sent you email regarding ATT block concern discussed last week. Yes, Rich, I received your email, and we will consider it to see whether we can feature your question on our lazy question show, right? For people who don't know what I'm talking about, because you are new, we have this series called the lazy question on our YouTube channel. It's right here, the lazy question, and it's a way for me to help you or help any of you, right? With their questions, problems, or maybe you have an idea to automate your work, right? We have helped many folks already um, with this series. So if you want to send your question, simply join our free email list, right, or newsletter, and you can send your question there. Our friend Rich says that he already sent his question, and I already received it, Rich. But we will see when we are releasing a new episode of this Lazy Questions series. All right. So, all right, let's keep moving. With the next mistake, um, the next mistake was about selections, right? Oops, what's this then? Uh, okay, all right. So the next mistake was about selections. So again, I was fixing these dimensions right here because you can see they're not on the correct location. And I'm gonna use the stretch command with the shortcut S to fix them both at once. I'm gonna select this dimension point. I'm gonna hold shift and deselect my xref, press enter, click, and click like so. Great. Wait, not great because I made a mistake. Do you see the mistake that I made? It's a simple mistake, but it's a mistake in the end, that I don't want you to be doing this mistake, right? That's what I brought it up here. Does anyone saw the mistake that I did with these selections? Let me know in the chat before I proceed and give you the answer. All right. Okay. So the mistake that I did is, and I'm gonna undo with Control Z a couple of times to show you, is that when I use the stretch command, right, with the shortcut S, and selected my dimensions, I use the shift key to deselect my xref, and that's a mistake because we we don't have to do that. It's an extra step that we are doing. It's basically a waste of time because I don't need to deselect my xref. I can just simply press enter or spacebar, and I can simply move or fix my dimensions like so. Do you see that? So yeah, again, that's another very common mistake I see many folks doing, even at the job where I am, at the architecture office where I work, where every time they have to move or stretch something in an xref, they have to deselect their xref. And again, please stop doing that. You don't have to waste time by deselecting xrefs because you're not moving this base point of your xref. You're not. So look what happened. If I stretch this xref right here, nothing will happen. You see that? I'm stretching this part of this xref. It's not moving. It's because again, the base point is right here for the xref, and I will have to enclose everything to move this xref. For instance, I'm gonna use the stretch command, and I'm gonna go and select everything, and you can see that now my xref is moving, right? Because when I selected all of my xref, including that base point. All right. So hopefully this mistake you're gonna stop doing it in AutoCAD again. All right. So let me know on the chat now if have you ever made this mistake in AutoCAD? Be honest, please. Be honest. Have you ever had to deselect your extras when stretching items or moving items? Um, so let me know on the chat, and I'm gonna start getting ready for the next mistake. Um, let's see over here. All right. Okay. The next mistake is um, it's about it's a blocks mistake. So let's see over here on this proposed floor plan. Oops, I see that I have a missing block right here. I'm supposed to have a roof hatch or ladder over here, but I don't. So let's see, I'm gonna open another floor plan that I did to try to find this block, right? So I don't have to recreate this block. So let's see, where is a roof hatch or a ladder, a roof ladder? I don't see any ladder or roof ladder over here. Okay. So this is again another mistake that we many of us do in AutoCAD, which is trying to find a block that you need from other drawings, right? We don't have to do that. We don't have to waste our time doing that. I'm going to show you a quick tip that you can use to quickly access your blocks, all right? So, and this consists on using the options dialog box. So I'm gonna use the OP shortcut for the options again, and we will have this options window or dialog box here in AutoCAD. And so what we can do is have our blocks that we usually use, right? And save it somewhere, right? On your computer, of course. I have saved my blocks right here on this folder, and it's right here. So I'm gonna quickly open it first, so you can see. For this example, I have saved a couple of blocks, including the ladder over here, right? So again, you can save your blocks that you need, but the idea is that, wait, let me close this. The idea is that if you go to the options dialog box in AutoCAD, we have an option here to add a support file path, and we can add that path or that folder where our blocks are, right? So if we do that, if we go ahead and add that folder, in my case my blocks, and hit open, so that means AutoCAD added that trusted path right there. And if I click OK, that means when I go to my command line, if I ever need a block, like in this case a ladder, I can simply go to my command line and type ladder, like so. So, and the block will be right there in my fingertips, so I can quickly insert it, and maybe it goes right here, who knows? And I can simply say one, sure. Um, One, of course, the rotation, that's all up to you. I'm gonna place it like so. But the idea is that you can quickly bring any of your blocks simply by typing the name on the command line. Isn't that great, guys? So again, stop making that mistake of going through different drawings to find the blocks that you need. So that was a mistake that I used to do also. So I had to be honest with you, right? When we're starting in AutoCAD, we waste time going through all of these different files to find the blocks that we need. again, in reality, it's that simple. Like once we add a trusted path with our blocks, then you can find it simply in the command line by typing the block name. So have you made this mistake? Let me know on the chat. Have you ever had to go through different drawings to find the blocks that you need? Just nope. Let me know. All right. Let's see. We have a couple of comments on the chat. Uh, it's AutoCAD Designs with CAD Pro says, good signing morning to you. Hey, good morning, CAD Pro. Happy to have you here as always. There are many folks here that have many years of experience working in AutoCAD, and I really like that because that means we can all learn from each other, right? That's why I love these live streams. Hope you're doing great, Cat Pro. We are going over some AutoCAD mistakes that we do, right, and giving you some tips on how to work efficiently, right? I'm sure you also have some mistakes that you have seen people doing. If you wanna share those, you can put it on the chat and I'll be able to read. I'm pretty sure that you saw some mistakes, right, that we do in AutoCAD. And if you want to bring that up, you can do it now. CAD process. All the time I use different projects. Yeah, I mean, that's common, right? That's what we do in AutoCAD, especially if we don't know how to access our blocks quickly, right? That's the first thing we do. We go and open other drawings to try to find the blocks that we need. But hopefully this tip will save you some time, right? Okay. So let's go with the next mistake then. The next mistake we are all doing in AutoCAD, and this mistake is, oops, let me hide this comment. CAD Pro is not giving us a mistake, but it's giving us a question. Says CAD Pro says, do you have any UCS techniques? That is one area I need to get better working with UCS. So that's a good question, CAD Pro. I don't believe we have a video about UCS techniques, but that sounds interesting. Definitely, maybe we can do 5 UCS problems with solutions or something like that. That's one of the favorite playlists that I notice people enjoy the most. The top 5. Let's see if I can find it over here. Mm, 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 mm. Yeah, maybe we can do. This is the playlist I'm talking about. The top 5 UCS problems with solutions. Maybe we can do that. CAD Pro, thanks for bringing that up to me. So let's see. All right. CAD process, maybe for another video you can make. Yeah, definitely. I mean, um, it's not that I use that much the UCS, but I had to use it a couple of times. I can put together a video, maybe researching something else, so we can complete 5 tips or 5 techniques for UCS in AutoCAD. Yeah, great suggestion, CAD Pro. So let's keep moving with the next mistake. And please, if you have a mistake or you saw a coworker doing a mistake in AutoCAD, just put it on the chat because I would like to feature your suggestion or your mistake in this live stream, right? That would be the number 5, the last one. I want to get a mistake from you or from a mistake that you saw your coworkers doing. So again, put it on the chat and I'll be able to resolve that mistake, all right? We can all do it together. All right, so let's keep moving with the next mistake. And this mistake is very common again. It's about changing settings in AutoCAD, right? So when we open AutoCAD for the first time, we start playing with the settings. We start turning some settings on and off. Whatever we find or research, we start doing that. We start doing like changing the mirror text command settings, right? As our friend Anna Lee was talking about, or we go to our options dialog box and we start adding path over here, right, to our different blocks, to our different. The idea is, or the mistake is that we do all of these changes and modifications to AutoCAD without saving a backup or a reference to go back and restore your AutoCAD if any problems or errors occur, right? And that's a big mistake. We never want to do that. Again, when we open AutoCAD for the first time, the first thing that I recommend to always do is go to your options dialog box and create a new profile under the profile tab. As you can see right here, I'm not making that mistake because I learned from my pains, right? I learned this the hard way. So you can see I have a new profile right there. It says 2024 home, and that means this unnamed profile. That's the profile that AutoCAD started the program with. And that means if in any moment I have AutoCAD not behaving the way I want, meaning my ribbon disappears, meaning AutoCAD crashes every time I opened, meaning, you got the idea. There are many errors, many problems with AutoCAD, and a quick way to fix them is, again, you can go back always to the started profile and set that current, and that way your AutoCAD will start working as expected. All right, so please never do that mistake again. When you open AutoCAD for the first time, go to the profiles, add a new profile to the list, add your name on it or whatever you want to add it, apply and close, select that new profile, set that current, click OK, and then you can start changing all of your different system variables, changing the color of your backgrounds, doing whatever you want to do, but you will be safe because again you have a backup or something where you can restore all of your settings again from this um, profile. All right, again, hopefully you learn or you stop doing this mistake in AutoCAD. So yeah, so now is the time for you to share a mistake, right? A mistake that maybe you saw a coworker doing, or maybe when you were a beginner, right? You used to do this mistake in AutoCAD. So just put it on the chat and we'll talk about it, right? We'll share some useful tips. So let's see. We have a couple of comments. Uh, our friend Cat Pro is giving us a mistake. And that's great. I love that because that's what we're doing this live stream, right? And this live stream is about the top 5 mistakes. I just gave you 4 that are very common, 4 mistakes that hopefully with the tips I shared, you can avoid them. And we have mistake number 5 from Cat Pro says, exploding dynamic block is one mistake. Definitely, Cat Pro, that's a mistake. And let me go and try to explain that a little bit, maybe. So in order to do that, what I can do is, let's see. Okay. So maybe I can open this plan and see and try to explain our friends. Let's see if I have a dynamic block somewhere in here. Trying to find a block that I can reuse to show or demonstrate CAD Pro mistake that he is bringing or sharing. Let's see. Okay, let's explain it with a regular block then, I guess. I'm going to erase this. And I have a block right here. Okay. All right. So let's try to explain quickly the mistake number 1 or number 5 from CAD Pro. And it is the mistake about exploding blocks or dynamic blocks. So let's say, for instance, I need a double block or double door block over here. And I'm going to copy this block, right? I'm going to copy this block to explain my point or CAD Pro point. And I'm going to, of course, rotate it like so. All right, great. So this is a block, and of course, if I want to mirror this door block using the mirror command, and mirror from this point to get my double door, this wouldn't work because you can see these doors have this hinge or door frame over here, and we don't want that for the double door. So I'm gonna do, and probably what people will do is, the mistake that they'll do is explode this block, right? Let's say this is a dynamic block or a regular block, doesn't matter, but the idea is that there are blocks. So they'll probably explode them, erase this part, and then mirror this using the mirror command, and go here and say no to complete their double door. But again, that's a big mistake because that means you lost all of the properties from the dynamic block or from the block. So that means if you ever need to change something in this block, the information won't update because this is not a block anymore. So I'm gonna do that really quick with Control Z. And maybe they do it because, again, they don't know any other techniques. But what we can do is, to avoid exploring any block, dynamic blocks, or anything, we can use the Xclip command to, again, Xclip blocks, dynamic blocks, and anything. And then we can say new boundary. We can say rectangular, polygonal. That's all up to you. Let's say I'm going to say polygonal. So I can go around like so, right? And then go right about here where I don't want the hinge to show, press enter, and boom, my block will still be there. And this way I can simply mirror this, right, from this point all the way there, and I will have my double block there. But again, I didn't have to explode my dynamic block or anything. So again, that's a quick tip or solution that you can use to avoid the mistake that CAD Pro brought to us of exploding dynamic blocks or blocks. So what do you think? That was a great, again, a great question or comment or mistake from our friend Cat Pro, and he says, "Good tip." Yeah. Again, we try to not explode blocks, dynamic blocks, and anything. Um, so that would be our last resource or our last option, right? Um, Yeah, thanks, Cat Pro. You completed this live stream with the 5 mistakes that we want to bring to you. Of course, we have more. I have a list over here on my second screen of 4 more mistakes that I could keep going, right? But I'm gonna stop right here because maybe we can do a part two, right, of the mistakes. Of course, if you find this specific topic useful, we can do a part two. That's not a problem. But I have over here other mistakes such as PDF mistakes. I have an undo mistake. I have match properties mistake. I have leaders mistake that we all do. So yeah, I have many mistakes here. But again, let's see how you guys enjoy this presentation, and we can do a part two of the AutoCAD mistakes. Our friend Sha- Shaik is on the chat. I think you're new to the live stream, Shaik. If that's the case, welcome aboard. We are here each Sunday at 10 a.m. Always, we try to keep consistent with the live streams, right? Even though I'm sick, I'm here with you guys. So, um, but yeah, so the only Sundays that, well, we show up here each Sunday, right? Each Sunday. But the last Sunday of each month, we do a private meeting with our members, our YouTube members, our Patreons, people who support our work, right? So that's another way I found to give them a little bit of my time to them, right? Uh, so yeah, but then all of the other Sundays we are here. Um, okay, so let's see. So let's see if we can do a giveaway for folks that stay with us today. All right. So let's see. Let me go over here. So we have time. So that's what we're gonna do this giveaway. So give me 1 second. So I prepare this, and I'm gonna go over here. Okay. So Uh, let's do a giveaway to get any of our dynamics blocks that we have created on the channel, right? You get to pick the ones. Usually, I give, or not usually, but always I give all of my dynamic blocks to our supporters, again, to our Patreon supporters. Or you can, if you're not a supporter, you always can buy them from this website, from my website over here, Lazy Arquitecto. But let's do a giveaway today. Let's give you a dynamic block that you can pick. Again, we have many. We have title blocks, we have lighting blocks, windows, north arrows, and so on. So a quick giveaway again, because we have some time. We have, a brake line block, a double door block, um, a 3 compartment sink. We have a slope percentage calculation block right here. Is very useful for ramps, for roof slopes, anything that needs to calculate the slope percentage. Again, you'll get um, you can type or input the percentage that you need for your slope, and it will adjust automatically. We have, another single sink. We have outlets that will keep the text rotation even though you rotate the block. We have many blocks right here that you can check them out later. We have a title block that will update its information automatically using fields for the date, the sheet, the drawn by, and drawing name. Yeah, many dynamic blocks we have created through the years, right? We've been here in AutoCAD many years. I mean, in YouTube many years. I think from 2017, and we've been creating all of these blocks. Um, so let's do a giveaway, right, guys? So let me go over here to do the giveaway. Um, and let's see. Layers giveaway. Okay, reset. All right, to participate, simply type hashtag lazy on the comments. Again, to enter this giveaway. So let's see over here. So again, just say hashtag lazy on the chat or on the comments to participate to win any of our dynamic blocks that we have on the channel. We have so many already. Again, you can pick the one that you like, that you use the most. We have a couch right here that we created that will give us all of these different configurations and so on. So let's see. So let's see. Okay, great. All right, again, to participate, just type hashtag lazy in the comments and you will be ready to win one of these dynamic blocks. All right, let's give you some time. Would be nice if to let's to here we go. Okay, that's better. Okay, so type hashtag lazy in the comments to win a dynamic block. Here we go. That's much better. But what would be much better is if we can share the dynamic blocks also. Let's see. Let's see. Here we go. Here we go. Much better. Wait. Let's go over here. All right, guys. So today's presentation was great. We went over some AutoCAD mistakes, but we're gonna stop right here, and I'll see you here next Sunday at 10 a.m. again with another AutoCAD live stream. And hopefully you have a wonderful rest of the day. All right, I'll see you here next Sunday again.